There we go. Are you done with that? You like that?
Yes.
Then he still gets to lick the cup, or he's gonna be mad because he didn't. Because you're not. Go ahead, Art. Be done with it. Finish it. There's another bite in there, isn't it? You gotta get around the edges. You didn't. What? You didn't grow up with poor like we did? You all right? Come here, Benno. Good boy. Benno's a good doggy. Benno's a good boy. He's the only one that has a big enough face that it'll fit down in there. All the rest of them, well, Artie might. I got it. He's like, you're not holding it right. Good job, Benno. All right, you're done. Oh man, I just did what you did, Ma. Oh, swallowed wrong. All right. I'll put on my playlist. Put on my playlist. Still a good song. This song came out in In Vogue, Free Your Mind. This song came out in the 80s. '92. So you're I graduated. I thought it was later than that. I was wrong. 92. That's right. Okay. All right. Oh, you know what I was getting it mixed up with? Lisa and the Colt Jam. Not the same, In Vogue, but they're around the same time. I feel so redundant I say the same things that other people used to say, but I didn't think when they said it had meaning behind it.
You didn't think so?
No, not much. Like, because I just thought they were things that people said that were cliche. Because there's so many words that people just say, but they don't mean it. You know? Yeah, and one of those was they don't make music like they used to. Which I find it's true. They don't. But things are just evolving. We're just at another point of evolution, or people are re-evolving. Some people are going, they're going up, they're raising and living more from their heart and their spirit and their heart space, and the Christ consciousness, and the astrology says this is going to happen more and more. People are going to become more, going to get hit with the generous blast of space juice and just, oh my gosh, I'm so happy. I just want you to be happy too. These are the things that are being forecasted, which I'm starting to kind of see evidence, but I don't know. We'll see. The story's still unfolding. My name's Marge. Hi, welcome to my tiny tube. I'm a Heyoka empath. I just like having these little talks on the way I feel about things. And today, I feel better physically than I've probably felt in 10 years. I went and did my last chiropractic appointment, and she does dry needle acupuncture too, and she's been working on. I went 3 times, and she'd worked on my stomach, the muscles in my stomach, and for whatever reason, I mean, I feel like I got my guts back, like I have control over my core again, which I haven't had in years, and I'm so grateful. I just admitted, I had kind of a rough landing when I woke up this morning. Woke up crabby, but it didn't, after the chiropractor, it definitely did not last. And went by the coffee shop and saw the couple that I wed, and that was kind of cool. They still like each other, so yay. And it was just kind of a nice chill day around here I felt good, just because things haven't hurt, which got me to thinking that we're the next chapter, we're going back into a cycle of where people give a crap about themselves. There's some people that have maintained this. Yeah, but the law of averages have shifted into freaking basically being lazy and letting yourself go. Especially the last couple years. I mean, the collective consciousness has been people that just want to freaking, I mean, everybody, it's so funny. At some point, I know people have had that thought, I wish I could just stay at home and do nothing, and then the whole planet did it. It's like they all collectively manifested this opportunity to isolate and get and really decide if you like to isolate, or if you come to conclusions like me that I like my quiet recharging time, absolutely. At the same time, I gotta have my recharge, or I gotta have my time to be amongst people. Yeah, human beings, we're social creatures. We are. And I understand the importance and significance of having your personal private time and stuff like that. Not everybody gets that. I get that. But just to recharge your battery, I tried to meditate today, and the energies are just too brrr. I'm not going to give too much attention to I'm going to mention what unfolded last night as a wave of let's see how people are going to interpret this. We're going to see where the collective consciousness, as far as, interpretations, we'll see where people are, as far as that's concerned. And when I see things like that, I'm just like, that just right on. Thanks for verifying what I've been talking about. I appreciate that, because we're going to see more and more people talking about how they don't have emotional control. They don't. And we're going to see more freaking grown-ups acting like children. Yeah. We are. We saw it last night. Stanley, he is awful cantankerous today. He's really persnickety, and that's cool as long as he's having a good time. He opens cupboards and drawers and stuff like that. What are you doing? Cut it out, cornball. He does it. He'll stand up, put his paws on the top of the cupboard, and then walk backwards. He's such a trippy cat, man. I love him. I love the critters, man. We were in the vibrational frequency of love today, because I felt good. So I was just loving on the dogs, I gotta be grateful every day, because they're all starting to get up to that age that it's like, you just gotta love them while you got them. Benny. And there's a lot of people going through a lot of really hard stuff. Powerlessness is a theme that I'm seeing right now. Come here, Benno. Yeah, powerlessness. A lot of people are getting more examples of okay, here's this, and you're going to get this. the life is gonna drop a big old load in your lap, and then you get to say, all right, what are you gonna do with it? What are you gonna do with it? Vinny, come here. No, come here. Come on. Everybody, they're on a loop. He does the same thing. Pavlov's dog, Pandora box dog, Schrodinger's dog. If the dog's in the box barking, if he's not barking, is he in the box? What are you doing, cat? I know, Tango got out. You guys, Anyway, so we were just hanging out, chilling all day long. How are you doing today, Ma? Went to the gas station. Got a poor man's fancy coffee for $1.06. Woohoo! Then, here's a good recommendation. I found a product because I've been thinking about non-fluoride alternative toothpaste. And I found one. And they sell it at Wally World. It's called Happy. Has charcoal in it, coconut, and mint. And it just makes you want to keep brushing your teeth. It's good. And Mom kept going and going, and I was like, Ma, because she was like kept going. I tried Coke once in the mid '90s, and my gums haven't tingled since then. It's really great toothpaste. I don't like the Go Fast. I never liked the Go Fast. I'm wound tight as things are, as it is, and that's why I'm so excited for this. See, because the thing is here's the deal, is I might be sore tomorrow, or like my little pink cloud that I'm on because of my back and my adjustment and the exercises that I'm learning, and I'm just feeling good because it's the new year, solarly. That could be spelled solarly too, SOULARLY, and SOLAR. But people are feeling good. People are friendly for the most part. I haven't had anybody be a jerk to my face. They can make fun of me behind my back all they want. I don't mind. But yeah, we're gonna see. And it was. I saw another video on Twitter yesterday with a guy, a grown ass man, like freaking smacking a kid in the face that like worked in fast food, And that's the thing is and I keep talking. That's why I'm like, I'm a non-violent person. I don't think that anybody should put their hands on another human. I don't think, but see, I'm one of those that's like, can I give you a hug? I ask permission to just, I don't like touching people with that I don't know or otherwise, unless, even if I know them, because not everybody's in the mood to be touched, and sometimes I'm not in the mood, so I ask people. I'm a very touchy-feely person, or I could just ask them their birthday and tell me when their birthday is. Okay, and then I'll let them know, but I'll get more of a gauge of if they're open and receptive to it or not. But I love hugging. I'm a great hugger. I love hugs. Are just two hearts shaking hands energetically, and it's just good to see that camaraderie, because people are, the way I see it is, okay, there's a very large percentage of a population of the planet that they're just miserable human beings because they don't feel good. And either people are going to succumb to just feeling bad, or they're really going to start taking the effort to do things to make themselves feel better. So there's definitely a divide. I mean, we see a divide all over the place. Everywhere. I'm seeing just division, but there, things gotta go apart to come back together. It's just how the things flow, ebb and flow, and they've been ebbing for years, and now they're about to come back into flow. And you got your storming, norming, performing, all that stuff. All the natural cycle of it. But the fact is that whether. I mean, you're going to have your city people and you're going to have your country folk, and we're going to have a lot of fun here in the country. A lot of people are just be like, no, my human spirit is going to persevere and it wants to live. Or it's going to be like, I don't want to anymore. And your spirit is going to dwindle until you pass on into the ethers. We're here for such a short time. We are the ones with thumbs, opposable thumbs. We have the potential to create heaven on earth, and just such a small percentage of people have just made it this freaking weird. We're like living in a imposed, fragmented society. And the way I look at it is I look at timelines like a deck of cards when you shuffle. And then I don't know if they still have the dealers that do the big fancy tricks, and the musicians that have the big old long. And those are all timelines, and those are all potentials of how are we going to have a utopian world just for a little while until the control freaks take over again? Or are we going to have, are we going to go back to where mass people are going to be, taken off for their own good and wiped off the face of the planet, with not much left, but a digital stamp, What are people going to do? Is their spirit going to prosper and want to grow and thrive and connect with other frequencies, like-minded spiritual beings, and then create communities where you live that benefit everybody? It was funny. It was like a few weeks ago, the freaking governor of New Mexico, she's a fucking idiot. I'm so sick of these dumb shit freaking politicians. I mean, they don't have good ideas. If they had good ideas, I'd be glad to compliment these people. They don't have any life experience. They're just in office because of the blood that's in their veins and who they're related to, not because of any merit, ethics. She's known for she had to settle like a $250,000 settlement because she grabbed a young dude's crotch. She's one of those she didn't ask permission. And so I'm done with women like her. Women like her make me less gay. I can't stand her anyway. I'm gonna run for governor one day. I found that article this morning with Mom's adoptive grandpa. Here's the Yoakum, a pioneer. Yoakum, a pioneer businessman of Portales, formerly operated a grocery store but recently has been running an electrical appliance shop. He is survived by his widow and 6 children. One of those 6 children was a man named Robert Stinson Yoakum, and he was the one that adopted Mom out of El Paso, Texas, but I believe she was born around here. What does it say? 6 children. They are Mr. Doug Wallace, employee of the gas company of New Mexico and Clovis. Mrs. Chester Hobbs of Portales. Mr. Wesley Little. Mrs. Wesley Little of Brady, Tex. Carlisle Stinson and Lucy Faye Yoakum of Portales. Mrs. Gills is survived by her husband, who is in Huckleberry, Arizona, where he was notified last night of the death of his wife and son. It was a horrible accident. The kid got, and the injury of his 11-year-old daughter. Other relatives of the dead woman live in Portales. Yoakum, who has been in Clovis on business late yesterday, was taking Miss Giles and her child back to Portales. Miss Giles had attended the Young and Audrey livestock sale here yesterday, where she had planned to dispose of some livestock. The accident took place 8 miles out of Clovis on southbound highway. I like how they just direct to the point. This is what happened. That's how news used to be, folks. But it was a terrible accident. The kid got the kid got decapitated. That's some gnarly freaking. I wonder what the freaking date that happened on, and see what the freaking planetary alignments were at that date. That's heavy shit. So, and then I found this is actually a woman on a Facebook page found all this stuff more. She had a subscription to all this ancestry pages, because I didn't know this stuff. Yeah, I mean, because mom was very tight. You know, Native American women, they're just taught to keep your mouth shut, and she did. I didn't even know how old she was until. Oh gosh, I don't know. I was like 10 or 12 or something like that. I didn't know how old she was. But Army inducts Eddy County Utes. Eddy County's Utes yesterday were ordered to report to duty at Fort Bliss after successfully completing their physical examination by Army doctors. They include Eduardo Lopez, Almendarez, Abel Costello, Fierro, Henry, Galindo, Garcia, Lonnie, Grassi, Juarez, Adam Rodriguez, Santiago, Sainz, Moliere, Vincent, Slagaldo, Navarrete, Andrew J. Combs, Clifton, Jr., Fields, Floyd, Eisen. That's a lot. I don't want to, and you know who the last name on here is, Ma? And Robert Stinson Yoakum. Yeah, Yoakum was designated as acting corporal in charge of the group for the trip to Fort Bliss. Wow. That's kind of cool. Mom was a doctor, so it's like, you know, I sure would like to find her relatives around here our blood relatives. I keep praying for it. Maybe it'll happen if it's supposed to be. Who knows? We'll see. We shall see. So. The good news is after doing these videos for 5 years, I finally have gotten to a point that I feel I finally don't have to act into feeling better. I don't have to act myself into a better way of feeling. Is that I'm starting to get the results from mindfully taking care of myself. And hopefully other people will want to do that for themselves too. Because when you feel good, when your body doesn't hurt, when you're, in alignment, when you're eating things with nutrients and not just empty crap. And trust me, I'm all over the place with food. I love food. I can eat my feelings with the best of them. Everything's about moderation. And when you start really getting the results, it's easier to live in that moderation because you feel good and you don't want to do things to wreck that. And when you feel good, you want other people to feel good. You want that. Look at the society the last 2 years. People have been sitting on their asses for the most part. Not everybody. There's a handful out there that are, wanting to freaking live better. But I'm talking the majority of the percentage of the population of people in this country have really let themselves go, so they feel bad. And then but they're still working, so they sit at home, and then they're hanging out with their kids, and then they're like, oh my God, no wonder my kids are a freaking nightmare. People know when their kids are a nightmare. there's so many nightmare kids that are protected that don't ever have to deal with the consequences of their shitty behavior because their parents are constantly bailing them out. Constantly. I've seen it my whole life. It's the most absurd thing. They're the same group of people that reason with their kids. You know? Like bargain with their kids. Your kid's 5. Your kid doesn't get to fucking bargain. You know what I mean? Your parents, I once heard this from a guy. Parents' role is to teach their children enough in life or so much of life that it makes their role obsolete. That's the greatest thing that a parent can do, is to teach their kid to fish. Right? There's a lot of people that don't know how to fish on this planet. In a literal and a proverbial sense. People don't know how to solve problems. They don't know how to fix things. They can, Mom, Dad, can you call somebody and have them fix it? Yes. I mean, but people don't have basic troubleshooting skills, you know? And so a lot of people are getting swindled and screwed over and stuff like that. So all these people, last couple years, they feel bad about themselves, but they're still working at home. So you call, you need something, you get one of these people, they feel bad about themselves. Are they less inclined or more inclined to help you? People don't want to help people when they feel crappy. Yeah, it's weird. It's a trip. Just kind of how human nature has presented itself to me. Everything I talk about on this channel is how nature... I was telling the chiropractor today a story, and she was like, "Oh, I'm kind of sad for you right now." And she had to stop herself because I don't know, maybe... I don't... People in their... what's appropriate and stuff, it's like... That's... I don't... It's also confusing to me because I just talk about, these are just things that happen to me. They don't, they're just life experiences. They're made for good stories. Don't feel bad for me. God. But when I was younger, I used to wet my pants. I used to wet my pants. And so, I mean, it started when I was probably 5 or 6 or something like that. Really. But I had a perfectly good explanation. And my explanation is the same today as it was then, but I can articulate it now. And I don't care what people think. Then I was like, I always knew that, okay, this is what I thought, but I knew it wasn't okay if I said this out loud to certain people. You had to compartmentalize, anyway, because we've seen a lot of freaking woo-woo shit in our lives, so that'll end you up in places they don't let you out of. So, oh no. Beautiful life made my train of thought derail again. Oh, I wet my pants. So like if I didn't wet my pants, I get a gold star on the calendar and stuff like that when I got home from school at the end of the day. Stuff like that. And I explained it to her because it's this trippiest thing. She's been working on my stomach, and I can actually, like, when I noticed, I don't know, a couple years ago, or like probably the stress of moving and everything. But at one point I noticed, I'm like, man, I don't pee as much in the morning as I used to. You know it? And, hey, Ma, you got a bad back? No? You got a strong back? That's cool. How's your stomach, though? They did all kinds of surgeries and stuff on you. You even had a hernia surgery. But, when I was younger, they cut my hair. I looked like Nicholas on 8 is Enough. I looked like a little boy. And I was stocky and stuff like that. And so I go to the bathroom, and people would just be like, you can't be in here. I go and be in the women's bathroom, and people all the time, they try to correct me. Be like, you can't be in here. You're little, you know, or be like, are you a boy or a girl? I get that. Oh, I get that as, you know, I still get called Mr. It's we. It's because people are just so programmed. It's not me. It's them. so, I go. I said, I'd wet my pants because I hated to go to public restrooms because I got really freaking. It hurt my feelings. I get mad when people. And she's like, oh, yeah, kids can be so cruel. They could be. I said, no, those were adults. Those were adult women, little old women. That, you know? And it's just like, people are just mean. Yeah, or middle-aged or whatever, you know? And then plus, I always liked girls, and I always felt, I didn't like, it always felt inappropriate to me. I just, unless there is a place where there's just like you can go in and lock the door, but most places weren't like that. So I'd hold it until I couldn't hold it anymore. I wet my pants. And then they thought that I had bladder issues and stuff like that, which backfired because then I had to go to a urologist, and the urologist took these big old long metal rods that looked like freaking knitting crochet hooks and stuck it up in through the urethra, the pee hole, all the way up through the kidneys to stretch all that stuff out. So I've had to learn how to breathe through a lot of very uncomfortable situations. Just breathe through the pain. I'm just like, they're stretching out. It's like a guy getting a tube in his wiener. It's like the equivalency of that. Man, that hurts. You know, just breathe through it. And then I had to pee on a x-ray table. That was fun. All these life experiences that people haven't had. Why, you know, and then I talk, you know, that's why I was telling her. I was like, I feel like I never can tell people. That's why I do these talks, because I can just, nobody listens to this. Nobody just, but I get the, you know, all this stuff out. Because as I called this, you can't keep ill feelings in you, because you can't, you know, if you feel bad about stuff, all those unresolved feelings, they turn into cancer. They make you sick. You know, you feel bad, you don't want to do anything. You get your feelings hurt. I don't do like, I remember there's one period, I was having, I think it was like 2005, 2006, 2007, somewhere in that neighborhood. I was having it was a Christmas. It was like, and it was a Christmas that I actually had a girlfriend. I was crazy about this girl. I liked her so much. She cut real good hair too. And she, you know, I had this big old day plan and stuff, and she invited her ex-boyfriend to go over to her family's house because he didn't have any place to go. Well, I was there. I lived in Omaha because I was in the military. I didn't have no place to go either, you know. But I'm just like, what I've tolerated just for title, just for say, okay, she was my girlfriend, you know. But she never fucking treated me real great, you know. So, but just so I could say and fit into these certain categories. You know, I'm going to tolerate some bullshit like that. I would make fun of my friends if people treated them like that. And I'm like, really? You don't got no self-respect? You know, and then where did mine go? I lost mine too. And then I found it again. That's just somebody else's problem. Looks like freaking Lori Petty on Tank Girl. Lori Petty ain't really aged that well either. Yeah, so. Oh, you make charcoal, Ahmad? Crush it and make it more like a powder. That's cool. I guess I could probably add coconut and mint too. Like if it came down, see, that's the thing though, is I guess it's like anything else. If it's supposed to be, it's always going to be there. If not, oh well. Guess you don't really need it that much anyway. Me and Ma, we haven't been in the dentist since we left Omaha, 2016. Neither of us. Her smiles is this smile. It's just on her face, but I mean, her gums are good. I don't like go in there and like or anything like that, but a lot of people and it's because, and a lot of that is because she's 5 foot. Well, she was 5 foot, but she used to stand up for herself a lot. She found her voice too. She's very strong. She's only small in stature, and so she found her. She stuck up, and so I think a lot of dental issues are directly correlated with, from one extreme to the other, either not speaking your piece, either not speaking your mind, or on the opposite side of that, the complete the extreme would be lying through your teeth. A lot of people have noticed that. A lot of people have, I noticed that when I get really mad and have a freaking tantrum like a jackass, that it freaking, I don't know if it's adrenaline. I don't know what it is, but it's like I literally get a bad taste in my mouth. Yeah. So, toxins, bacteria, it's a great place. And I had braces too, and so I don't know, that really, it changed the chemistry in my mouth because they shift and move and stuff like that. But I don't wear my retainers or anything anymore. But people are becoming more conscious of stuff. And for everybody's going to have a different experience. You just kind of, that's what I like to do. I love to hear what people try for themselves. I love it. I love hearing about how people can, what do you do to make your life better? What do you do to feel better? And then, because when you feel better, then you can start talking about what you do to make. I listened to a lady. I really liked her. I was like, I really ebbed and flowed. I could appreciate with a lot of the stuff that she said, and she's that friend of Peace Dealer. They do a podcast together, and what's her name? Oh, look, I'm live. What is her name? But I liked her analogies. She had several clever endeavors. And I like when people are freaking good with words, man. Because most of the time, you just hear people say the same things over and over. So sometimes when you hear people say stuff that's a little bit different, like this one analogy she had, Mom, she talked about is it's going to be a Scooby-Doo day. Where, like, something's going to be revealed and you're going to decide, no, I'm not going to be scared of you anymore. The Midhaven podcast is what she does with Michael the Peace Dealer, but Beyond the Veil Tarot. I can't remember her name. I think she's a Gemini or a Scorpio. I love those full spectrum people. There's so many people that just freaking. That's like, I say, I told the chiropractor, I said, a lot of times I feel like I'm on a different planet than everybody else is. Yeah. And I said, there's just a lot of people that have been really sheltered. I mean, there's a lot of people in this country that have had really, really, really comfortable, cush lives. They really have. Like, it's just set up, and their whole lives are pretty much set up, and they all got the support they could ever want or ever need, just because of who they were born into. And then on the other side of that coin, there's a whole bunch of people in this country that don't have. I mean, there's so many kids that are thrown away, live on the street. They end up on the street, and now they're street people because they don't got no. Nobody ever taught them how to freaking, oh yeah, you just go to freaking the big welfare house, the government agency, and knock on the door and just let them know that you need a place to live, and they'll bring you in, give you a bowl of soup, and find a place to put you. It ain't like that. And there's a lot of people that don't know how to do stuff. And I have a lot of knowledge. Because we were looking up at the poverty line when I was growing up. A lot of times we didn't have food. Our food was school lunches, I got hot lunch, but I was always on the list. But you have to wait until the end of the line because the kids that got free food always had to wait at the end of the line. And everybody knew who the freaking who the poor people are. I was always short. I've always been in the back of lines. But what I do when I'm waiting is I just watch people and I listen and I see how they treat people and I watch how they interact. I pay attention to a lot of stuff. I've been collecting a lot of data on the human psyche. Since I was a little girl, I've been paying real close attention. 2 years old, 3 years old, I used to point at the TV, walk up to the TV. When I remember doing this. When Bill Cosby was on, and these kids would sit on his lap. There was a show called Kids Say the Darndest Things. And these kids, and they could see, because some of us people were so sensitive, we could feel we could feel their creep. We can feel it. Before they do anything creepy, we know the creep is coming. And it makes us uneasy. And so you could see these kids how awkward and uncomfortable some of these kids felt on that man's lap. And I could see the vacancy in his eyes, where maybe once his soul lived, but it was gone. And I walk up to the TV and I'd point at his eyes and I'd say, bad eyes. Or I'd see people in the grocery store or Sprouse Ritz or Thrifties or wherever, bad eye. Every now and again, bad eyes. I did all kinds of stuff. They had me freaking it. Always getting, I was like Sheldon. I'm like a cross between like a Sheldon and a good doctor. Only instead of being stoic, I got all the feelings. And he's coming into his feelings in his evolution of his character progression. So, yeah, it's all about your spectrum, and most people, so I was telling, as I said, it's hard, I tell people, it's like, people tell a story and, human beings want to relate. It's not that I'm trying to outdo anybody or be a Debbie Downer or nothing like that. It's not like, it's just that it's how I relate to people. I've had a similar experience like that. This is what happened to me. And then people are like, nope. Don't want to hang with you. So, I'm fun. I just have really high standards. I do. I just have high standards. I don't have expectations. People can be whatever they want to, but do whatever, I don't, I know some heathens. I could, on a bad day, I could be a heathen myself. What is that, to who? What does that mean, I don't hurt nobody. I don't put my hands on people. I talk shit though, so I can't say I don't hurt nobody. But I only when provoked. Yeah. And I get provoked when people are fucking rude. I get real rude when people get rude. And they're like when people are rude to like personnel, like the service staff and stuff like that. I will definitely. I can't. I know that there's plenty of people on this planet that keep their mouth closed. I've been raised around that environment. That is not me. And bratty kids, I freaking address the parents. I will in a grocery store. You know? I'm like, that's your solution? Just let them act like a fool, right? I'll just remember every time I see it, I'll be like, hey, there's the person, their kid don't know how to act. Their kid don't know how to control his emotions. Their kid don't have no outlet, you know? Maybe you might want to teach your child mindfulness and how to take their freaking emotions that are spinning around in their body, stop them, allow them to be what they are, and release them. And then you can manage yourself without allowing your emotions to. I got all kinds of stuff to teach people, man. Years and years and years of actual life experiences. You know, there's things like certificates and degrees and things like I got them, but they mean shit because all that is I was willing to frickin' take time from learning shit that I care about to frickin' learn what somebody else wants me to be and act and behave and stuff like that. And as long as I can memorize what they want me to memorize and put commas where they want me to put fucking APA, all that format, fuck you. It's all bullshit. It's all your little, are you willing to comply bullshit, you know? I can write a run-on sentence like a mofo, so. I'm a creative writer for sure. But, anyway, get a little fired up. But I just, you know, it's life experience. Those are the people that I freaking, and I got a vision, I got an idea. I want to have a place where freaking travelers can come. And freaking, if you got some regrouping to do, you got some healing to do, we can do that. If you're fine, that's cool too. I just love stories, and I learn more about myself the more I learn about other people. I don't always like people. I don't always like myself. Things are shifting, things are changing, people are getting out, getting more social. I want to have a little place, and then people, you can come help me work in the garden, me and Mom. Come on out, help us work in the garden. You know? Have a place where people can come in and traveler, you know, your car breaks down. There's people always broken down parking in freaking Walmart, stuff like that. You know, come stay at the freaking property. We can have, you know, we're gonna have a little coffee shop, a little place, little trailer in the corner with a hot, you know, coffee 24/7, where people can always come fellowship. You know, or go back and, you know, if you want, you're just walking and with your dog and have a couple trees where you can hang a hammock if you want. You want to sleep in your tent, you can do that. You know, pull up an RV, you know, get a hot meal, freaking shower. Because travelers, man, you do not, when you haven't had a shower in fucking months, you do not know how rad it feels to get the energy off of you. And there's so many people that don't have. Don't give me that they want to live that way, because how would you fucking know? You ever have a conversation with somebody that doesn't got no address? You know, you pick up hitchhikers every now and again. People do that. So many fucking hypocrites. We get to start seeing people freaking acting from their heart, living from their heart. You can't fake that shit. You can't sell that shit. All these non-for-profits and stuff like that. Only thing that I gotta say this, I did see that they want to start taxing rich, and I was like, okay, you know, maybe things really are shifting. We'll see. Just always hold off for the best, man. Always hang on to that hope, you know. And some days are crappy and some days are bad, but people gotta know that you just go to sleep and wake up and it's a new day and there's new possibilities and new potentials and new energies, and there's always a shift, man. Things never stay any kind of way for too long, and that includes good. So you gotta stay balanced to compensate from whatever comes at you. Because life is always coming at you. And for all those people that life hasn't come at you, you can't freaking dodge statistics. You can't. Law of averages, you can't dodge freaking life forever. And don't be too afraid about stuff. What you fear, you draw near. And that vibrational frequency, I spend most of my time in life transmuting fear. is telling my brain consciously to be grateful and not fearful, because those are two vibrational frequencies that cannot vibe in the same space. You cannot have fear and you cannot have faith at the same time. So if you focus on your faith and you focus on your hope, that fear will be abolished. That's about all I got for now.